Today I'll show you how to install these simple gutter guards on my mom's house. In case you're new here, my name's Dan and I love to DIY things. And my mom and I are actually working on renovating an old 1949 Spartan Manor camper trailer. Really, this should be a pretty easy project, but I thought I'd show you anyway because it's something I hadn't thought about doing for years because I clean out my own gutters. And cleaning the gutters is one of my mom's favorite activities. And I'm not particularly fond of her going up on the roof, so we'll see if this helps with that a bit. And even though the roof isn't very steep, I think it'll be safer and easier to do it from the ground using this ladder. Right now we're using these universal strainers to stop all the pine needles and debris from going into the downspouts. But these don't fit in there very well because of the screws in the downspouts. And you can see that there are quite big gaps here that pine needles could go down in anyway. And plus, the gutter still gets really filled. So there are quite a few of these to choose from at the store. And we went with the cheap ones because we didn't want to spend a lot of money on it. And also because these had the finest mesh. So the most expensive ones also seemed to have that finest mesh, but they were, I think, 4 times more expensive. And of course, we need that finer mesh because of all these beautiful pine trees around our house. If you just had deciduous trees like this around your house with bigger leaves, you wouldn't have to worry about having such a fine mesh on those gutter guards. Just a couple months ago, that downspout was completely clogged up with pine needles, and that's part of the inspiration for the gutter guards. Before we put the gutter guards in, we're gonna blow the gutters clean. Mom's getting excited to use her favorite tool.
My second favorite.
Oh, the rivet gun's your first.
Yeah.
She loves this. You have fun up there? All right, the gutters are cleaner, so we'll take these out. I found those filters super frustrating to put in because of these screws that stick out holding the downspout in. All right, so this is pretty simple. You just have to lift up the edge of the end, what would you call it, the edge? The edge of the shingles and work this underneath. And then clip it over the edge of the gutter. Just like that. To me, it wasn't immediately obvious which side was up, but this side with the mesh goes up, and this side with just the plastic grid goes down. And that's because this lip right here, this longer part of the lip of this channel, wants to clip over this part of the gutter. I tried it the other way and it just doesn't work. And you can see this isn't rocket science, but it can be a little bit fiddly to get underneath the shingles and snap that over the edge of the gutter. So anatomy of a roof. So here is the metal drip edge. This is some felt to help with the waterproofing. And then of course we have the shingles. And so we're trying to get the gutter guards to go lay on top of this, but I don't think that really matters too much. I think you just want to avoid having one go over and one go under because then it's going to get kind of messy and they probably won't fit together very well. And you might want to get it closer to the other one before you get it too far in there. Yeah.
I need hands over here, honey.
I can't, I'm filming. We've hit a little snag putting this one in because there's a nail stopping it from going up high enough. Okay, there's the nail. We're gonna have to cut a little slit in the gutter guard to get it past the nail. And luckily this was the only place in 60 feet of roof that we had to do this.
There.
Perfect. Seems to make it a lot easier to put it on if you start overlapping the previous one. Easy. And I know I started off saying that it was easy and safe from the ladder, but these trees weren't in the way and it wasn't hard to do at all from this roof. And it has a really gentle slope to it anyway. This is surprisingly easy from up here. And the only variation in putting these in was at the very end when we had to cut one of these down to fit. I've just been using these shears, but really I think a good pair of kitchen scissors could cut through that gutter guard. All right, there's the whole installation. So we put some on the side of the house as well. And this is great because any moss that comes off the side here, when it rolls down, it'll just land on there or just continue on over the edge. Well, that was a pretty easy installation. And I don't think it's gonna stop my mom from coming up on the roof with the blower, because I imagine this will still have to be cleaned off periodically. But at least this way, hopefully, the downspouts won't get clogged up with pine needles. And if you like DIY videos like this, you might like this one here. She loves this. This is why I don't like her getting on the roof.
Yeah, no, Robert, you turn that off.
Okay.